Super Skill Pinball 4K has one of our players rolling dice and puzzling their way through 4 different pinball tables. WizKids provided this in exchange for an honest review. Carnival is the beginner board and introduces you to the basics. Roll 2 dice and choose one to use. Let's walk through a turn. You roll a 3, so fill in the 3 and 4 Ferris wheel car. 2 dice icons in a single box are called a combination box. Once all 3 are filled, erase and earn a skill shot. In the top left is a numbered track. Fill 1 box of your choice. In the future, erase this number to substitute a rolled dice value. Double outline boxes are only filled once in an entire game and never erased. Single outline boxes are erased after completing a set. Dotted lines are erased at the end of a round. Getting back to the game example, your next roll is a 1. Your ball drops to the next zone, the bumpers. Fill in a box to score a point. Roll again, a 1 and a 4. You can't stay on a bumper, so follow the purple arrow to bounce to the right. You can't go in the direction of the white arrows unless you've activated that bonus. I'll explain bonuses soon. Anyhow, you roll 2 2s, so drop down a zone. You can choose either the left side or the right, and will do so depending on which table bonuses you wish to unlock. These are one and done bonuses, although 2 of them can be activated numerous times for points and are the key to high scores. Roll and drop down. Depending on your strategy, roll toward either side. If you want to return to the Ferris wheels to go for that skill shot, roll to the yellow flipper. To activate the feat of strength, roll to the red flipper. On this board, you need to activate the spinner in order, 1, 2, and so on, making it tricky, but you can score lots of points here. Either flipper can shoot the ball up to the bumpers. I'm sure you can figure out how to get to the yellow and red drop targets. Once you start filling in flipper boxes, it's harder to keep a ball alive. This is where bonuses, skill shots, and nudges come to play. I'll explain nudges later. The top right area of Cyber Hack is a spinner lane. You'll occasionally earn little blue lightning bolts, hacks. Use the yellow bumper to get up to the run bumpers, and if you could fill all 3 boxes, start the run minigame. When the dice are rolled, add them and fill in that many run boxes, then fill the trace track equal to the difference. For example, if you roll a 6 and a 4, fill in 10 run boxes and fill 2 trace boxes. If your trace track fills up, you crash. Score no points, and end the mini game. If you decide to end the run, score points based on the most valuable row that you fully completed. If you complete the final row, override the system, score 100 points, and end the run. The hacks you earned earlier can be used to completely ignore a bad dice roll. Hacks are the difference between surviving a run and crashing out. Skill shots and nudges can't be used during a run. While you'll want to score points in Dragon Slayer, some zones will allow you to go for the Dragon's Horde instead. Fill the Dragon targets, score 2 points for each filled Horde space. This track resets when you lose a ball, so choose wisely. This table's other difference is the ability to gain experience from the top left, meaning gain points and learn spells, or simply learn a spell from the scroll set. Black spells, once learned, can be cast once at any time to help mitigate bad luck. Unlike other tables, the lower drop targets don't earn you table bonuses. Instead, the yellow side lets you rest, meaning erase and refresh all of your cast spells. The red side lets you cast purple spells and adds to the Dragon Horde. When starting Dance Fever, you can head toward either bumper. This is important because of the split below, giving you 2 ways to get your ball rolling in Disco Pinferno. When you start this minigame, erase everything left over from previous plays. Obviously, this doesn't apply your first time. Anyhow, from here, you follow the standard multi-ball rules. Each die controls 1 ball token. When the left or right set of targets is filled, fill the lowest thermometer section. With good planning and a fair amount of luck, you can rack up a lot of points here. The Start Disco Pinferno spaces have another neat trick. If you're already playing the minigame, you can instead erase red or yellow flipper boxes there, depending on if you're the left or right. This table's other difference is the Boogie bonus track. Each time you roll doubles, mark the next space on the track. If you fill the Boogie target set, score the points shown on the track. If you roll doubles when already in the track's top spot, too bad for you, reset back to the hokey pokey. Nudging can help you out of a bad roll. In the back glass's nudge area, write in the large box the difference between the die you won and the die you rolled, then fill one of the small boxes. You get 3 nudges in the entire game, so be smart. On the next roll, look at the difference between the two dice. If it's equal to or greater than the nudge amount you wrote, erase the number, you're fine. If it's not, you tilted. Erase the number and lose the ball. You cannot nudge your way out of a tilt. Roll dice to move around the table in a clever way to earn the highest score. That's Super Skill Pinball 4K'd. Our games is Super Skill Pinball 4K'd average around 70 minutes including setup and takedown. Length really depends on table and luck. If time is short, stick to Carniball. You could play this on an airplane tray table, so any table size will work. Aside from rules, there's barely any reading. Math is simple addition and subtraction with some low single-digit multipliers depending on the table. Weighing your options and maximizing them is important, but I think experienced 7-year-old gamers could handle Carniball. Save Cyberhack for 8-year-olds. The next two are trickier. While Dance Fever has a more complicated puzzle to solve, Dragon Slayer's options might be overwhelming. I'd say try experienced 8-year-old gamers, but 9-year-olds might be better suited for these two. Once you know the game inside and out, Super Skill Pinball 4K'd is very quick, but it can be a little slow at first with new players or when trying a new table. There can be a bit of downtime if waiting for others to decide what to do. Analysis paralysis. RIP is where people freeze when making decisions. That can happen here. If you're eliminated first, you might be bored if someone ends up playing for a lot longer. This is like real pinball though, so it's not a huge knock. Just keep this in mind. The tables look awesome, and I think the graphic design is mostly very good. Some table information can be hard to read. I wish they were outlined or not so similarly colored to the background art. The score sheets should explain the nudge rules in the space below those boxes. The rules for everything else are on the boards, so why not this? Brilliant decision to use dry erase boards. This would be annoying if you had to keep erasing pencil marks. Thanks WizKids for including markers. The dice are pretty and easy to read. The silver ball tokens are amazing. They look like real pinballs. If you have a sensory disorder where colors can be overwhelming, you might not be able to enjoy this game. Carniball is the perfect introduction to Super Skill Pinball 4K'd. It may be simple, but it's light and silly, and most importantly, it's fun. The colors are a bit distracting, but isn't like real pinball where I can't see the ball and my eyes and head start to hurt. I love the run minigame in Cyberhack. It's kind of like blackjack. Push your luck, then get out at the right time or risk busting. Thankfully, hacks can be gained to help mitigate luck. The level up and spell mechanisms in Dragon Slayer are a fun way to choose your mitigation effects, but the ability to reset your spells makes this last longer than I'd like. The number of available spells grow as you level up, meaning there can be AP issues. There are also times that the information and background blend together, making it difficult to read. Dance Fever's separate Disco Inferno area is tricky because you need to manage 2 balls, but adds an agonizing but fun decision. Which ball do I use here versus the main board? The colors here can also be overwhelming a bit. This might be the most strategic table. I do have an issue with the outlines. They should say 2 points per filled yellow in both playfields. Because it says either on the board, it makes it seem like you have to choose one, meaning you'll miss out on points. In order, I prefer Cyberhack, Carniball, Dance Fever, then Dragon Slayer. I expected to like this, but not as much as I actually do. This is awesome, and a second edition with some little tweaks could make this the best roll and write. I can't wait to see what other tables come out.